Hey friends, welcome to Woman-Owned Wallet, the podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Dare, a serial entrepreneur who has already made all of the money mistakes, so you don't have to. Now I'm working on my money mindset, expanding my companies, and having open conversations with women around a subject that shouldn't be so taboo, money. My company, Woman-Owned Wallet, and I are determined to help you foster a more positive relationship with your wallet and help you create a life that makes you say, wow. Hey, Moneymaker, welcome back to Woman-Owned Wallet, the podcast. This is actually the beginning of season 6, if you can believe it. I cannot. And here at the podcast, where we just we love to talk about money and missions behind businesses, talk with woman-owned business owners and people through their money story. But I really want to talk about the messy middle of it all, of building a brand that really puts women first. So on today's episode, it's going to be a little bit different, kind of a callback to previous seasons where our beloved, wonderful, amazing COO Adrienne is back here. She's the one that, keeps the back end from becoming a breakdown every single day. So these episodes, we're going to kind of go into our business diary a little bit and kind of have that insider scoop, so where you can actually feel like you're part of our group chat. So this is where we're going to tell you what's really going on. And since we haven't recorded in a minute since season 5, there's a lot to catch up on. So we'll skim through a few things and really deep dive where it feels right for us today. And then if you want to hear more about a certain thing, we've considered that some of these might need to be full episodes. You can just let us know and reach out to us, DM us, anything. But we're excited. So Adrienne, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for not leaving me.
Of course. Where would I go?
I mean, your skill set is so wide and so beautifully needed in so many places. There's 1,000 places you can go, but I am very, very lucky to have you here.
Yeah, I enjoy being here. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
I'm just returning from maternity leave.
Yeah.
So I was gone for 3 months.
I missed you.
What did you do without me?
Too many things. I fucked up a lot. Happily have you back.
Getting you back on track.
Oh, I missed you so much. I was telling people, I was like, I had to replace, when Adrienne was on maternity leave and it was during the holiday season. And so I basically got 6 girlies to help me with, we opened a little chalet space over at Paris Town and we had the storefront running and everything. So I had 6 girls that all are neurodivergent that I was managing. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what it's like, to have to manage one of me.
Yeah.
But there's 6 of them.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. There was Pinkmas too.
Oh my God.
I was gone for that, which felt so weird. I was just watching from my phone the whole day.
She had that FOMO.
Yeah.
And all the girls, we took a picture at the end and we're like, we got to send it to Adrienne. She'd be so proud of us.
Just Photoshop me in.
Yeah. You and little baby.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about Babe?
Yeah. So my son, Otto, was born on November 2nd. Our birthdays are 20 days apart, so we're little November babies. But he is the best. I love being a mom, and he is so fun and chunky and just the best. He's great.
He's so tall.
He's tall. He's big. Yeah, he definitely... Where he takes after me and looks, he looks so much like I did when I was a baby, but he takes after my husband's size and stature, for sure.
Yeah, Colton's 6'3". 3, yeah.
Yeah. So Otto is very long, and he is just topping out all the charts. I think he's in the 98th percentile for weight and 97th for height. So we might have a wrestler on our hands. My husband would be very stoked about that. But he was like, well, what if he wants to play football? And I was like, no.
Yeah, the concussions.
Not. Yeah, can't be doing that.
No, that's the one thing Ryan and I had ever agreed on is just no football. It's too much on your body.
Yeah. So no to football, but Louisville is one of the main training centers or locations for professional wrestling, if you didn't know that. I'm shocked that I know that.
Colton is on a wrestling podcast.
Yes, that is true. But yeah, so maybe we'll have a wrestler on our hands.
Just the whole family of podcasters, too.
Yeah.
Look at y'all.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I think it's so cool. And I think it's cool that Louisville's known for so much and people don't think about it. And I didn't know as much about professional wrestling here until you told me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang.
Yeah, we have the Ohio Valley Training Center, Wrestling Center. But it's basically a facility that a lot of the wrestlers who are professionals now, they go through this training facility, and it's right here in Louisville. So,
wow, we're fancy.
I know.
Small but mighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a Shakespeare quote?
She be
yes.
but little, she is fierce. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
I used to have that tattooed, but then I got it covered up whenever I started my sleeve.
I didn't know that.
Well, the text was, I got it on a whim. That's, if you're getting a tattoo, make sure you're getting a good one. I got mine in Texas somewhere random, but the text was very small, so it started to blur out, and then I started my sleeve, so I just did a cover up. Yeah.
And you guys know, I love to copy Adrienne, so now I go to her, talk about influencer here. Adrienne's it, where I used to, you'd have a pair of shoes, and I'm like, those look cozy. Maybe I should get some. And now we have the same tattoo artist, too.
Yeah, we do.
I got a tattoo for Galentine's Day this year that says, wow, and a little heart.
I know, so cute.
So cute. So fun.
Yeah.
I love it. And you're planning a tattoo for Otto.
Yeah.
And Colton just got one. Your husband got one.
Yes, he got a bluegill fish because whenever we were in our birth classes, we learned that babies, I guess, can breathe amniotic fluid, I think. So Colton was like, see, he is a fish. And I was like, yeah, okay. So then he got a bluegill tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Didn't he get the numbers or something?
There's a lot of not numerology in the sense of numerology, but
numerical influence.
Yeah, so Otto was born on 11 too. So there's 11 air bubbles around the fish and 2 different types of plants, I think, in it. So there's some little symbolism in there. Yeah.
And didn't you work on Halloween?
Yeah.
Because your last day was Halloween, and I was like, this baby's coming.
I was planning to work up until he came. Yeah. And then you were like, are you sure you don't want a few days beforehand to rest? And I was like, no.
And I was like, well,
yeah,
you're going to get some.
His due date was election day. And then, I worked Halloween. That was my last day. And then I was like, I'm going to go out with the niece trick-or-treating and walk this baby out. Well, it kind of worked.
Well, what'd you dress up as, too? That was fun.
I was a magic 8-ball. So I just wore a black dress, one of the only things that fit me at that moment. And I had attached, the little 8 and the little blue triangles. And I had it say baby kind of things not yet or when's it coming kind of thing. So that was fun. So I walked around a lot that night. And I was like, it didn't work when I woke up the next morning. But it actually did because then, the next day I went into labor. So literally my first day of maternity leave, I thought I was going to go get stuff done that day and handled. And I kind of did. But so he came the next day.
If we weren't already...
Or not the next day. Well, I went into the hospital the next day, but then I was in labor for 30 hours. So then he came on the 2nd.
If we weren't already impressed by Adrienne. Damn.
Yeah.
30 hours.
It was wild. Childbirth is a crazy, crazy thing that I didn't always know if I wanted to be a mom or go through that whole process. But then a lot of amazing women who I love around me started having kids and I was like, they're awesome. And started to explore it a little bit more and then decided that I did. And I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, your bestie, she had a baby a couple months before?
Yes, her son was born in August, so he's a couple months older than Otto, but they are little besties already, and which obviously we're thrilled about. So,
I mean, you have to be that's just too fun.
Yeah, and they're both boys, so
yeah,
they're cute.
Well, listen, just congratulations, Mama.
Thank you.
I like calling her Mom.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey, Mama, how you feeling? How you doing? I don't know. I just think it's fun and cute. Yeah. And Vanessa, who works here, is also a mom. And she had her baby girl like over a year ago now. But she had gone on maternity leave as well. But she was part-time, so it's a little bit different. But she came back so happy. And like now I walk into the back room, you guys, and they're like talking about like their favorite like wipes and like what kind of toys and stuff. And I'm like, are y'all having mom chat? Because like this makes all my dreams come true. Like my heart is so happy to walk into like a little bit of mom chat and that they have that with each other.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I think it's wonderful because like we never had that.
Yeah. It adds a new layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Les going on like 6.5 years almost at this point.
Yeah.
Working together. We were bound to get there, but like it was just never the chat.
Yeah.
That was never the group chat, basically. But I feel like it's super interesting. You know, now, like, thinking back about it, by the way, we haven't even told our audience about Pinkmas on the podcast. So, if they weren't there or didn't follow us on social media yet, they don't even know what Pinkmas is.
Yeah. Well, I guess we better backtrack a little bit.
Guess we got to go back because last time we were talking, we were mostly talking about Galentine's Day of 2024, and now we're past Galentine's Day of 2025.
Yeah.
So,
a little bit of a hiatus, but
listen, we usually do, multiple seasons a year, but with the maternity leave, with everything we had going on, it wasn't something I could also take on.
Yeah.
So I had to step back a little bit and say, it's okay. We want our business to fluctuate and to be flexible with us as we go through different seasons of life. So the podcast is back now that Adrienne's back. And we could find the time and space to really talk about it, but a lot has happened.
Yeah.
So much that, like I said, if there's more you want to know, we can always bring Adrienne back, but we'll kind of get through a few things here today. So let's start with Pinkmas. So Pinkmas was November 17th of 2024. If you've listened to our Galentine's recap episodes, it's a very similar event. It was our inaugural holiday event. We had our event called Booby Bash in October the year before that. And now people are excited about that. But at Booby Bash, they kept asking us like, hey, where's the holiday market?
Yeah.
I think we had counted between us 22 people asking us about a holiday market for woman-owned businesses.
Yeah, so many. And also because, which I didn't realize, but a lot of the holiday markets are outside.
Yeah.
And it's cold then. So.
It's so cold.
So yeah, people were definitely interested in having an indoor holiday market.
Yeah, the attendees and the vendors, to your point. And so we were like, okay, well, I guess, we're being asked to do this. And as much as Booby Bash was cool, it just didn't seem like the right time for shopping.
Yeah.
It felt like a different kind of vibe. So we wanted to make sure that our vendors and our audience was really putting money into the wallets of women. So if the timing was better for holiday, where, gift purchasing was on their mind, then we just kind of knew we might need to shift. So we just listened to everybody and really took in that information and decided that a holiday market was where it was at. Now, the only issue with this is that it's only 3 months before Galentine's, which is the original reason why we didn't do it, because these markets take us 6 months plus. I mean, basically.
Yes, but also we are getting much faster and our processes are becoming a lot more streamlined. So
preach it, COO, preach it.
So it's not as big of an undertaking now that we've gotten branding figured out for both and a system. It's manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is more manageable. I mean, you say that, but you weren't there, so.
I will say I did the front end work.
You did do a lot. Yes, of course. I was just fucking with you. I mean, it was definitely, it was like Galentine's, and we did it in a new space.
Yeah.
So we were able to, that time we doubled the amount of vendors. And then for Galentine's, we tripled the amount of vendors. And we might go back to just doubling the amount of vendors because it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that everybody has the very best time and it's just manageable again. Yeah. And going from, basically your last week right before Pinkmas to your first week coming back right before Galentine's.
Yeah, I will say that was a little bit of a shock a little bit to be thrown in. I mean, I knew mostly what was going on, but like normally I know every single, I do a lot of the communicating with the vendors. So it's like I'm used to knowing every single vendor and what they look like and the products that they have and all the inner workings of the event. Where going into Galentine's this year, I was kind of just like going with the flow and just filling in space and what was needed. And we had a lot of repeats too, people that always join us, which, we love, but a lot of new faces too, because like you said, we tripled the amount.
Yeah.
So
90 plus vendors at Galentine's Day.
Crazy.
It was a bit, a bit crazy. And as, we were trying to do as much before you went on maternity leave. We definitely wanted to make sure that everyone was like well taken care of and everything. So we're continuously trying to make it all better. But this was your first event in a new space. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was my second event because we had just done Pinkmas at Melwood Arts Center. Now we decided to move over there because they have a ton of parking.
Yes, that was awesome. Parking. Even loading in, it was easier. So this was a good move.
We appreciate where we were before, but it was multiple different rooms. So we had to do different decorations per room.
Yeah, you just felt a little disconnected from the rest of the event as you were going through the rooms, where Melwood is all open. You can see all the decor at once, and it's just
19,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm. And every inch of it filled.
And what we had to learn at Pinkmas was which the decor works in that large of a room versus what worked in when we had multiple rooms to decorate. It's an interesting shift when your event gets larger, but that also when it opens up. And also Melwood has a ton of windows, so it's a lot more light coming into the room, which everyone really appreciated because the brewery we were in before was mostly dark, and had more spot lighting. So we could play around with the lighting a lot more at the last space, but would lighting have as much of an effect as it did? No, it wouldn't. So we really wanted to focus on sound. We wanted to focus on the entrance, the few different areas for the self-care art stations that we had set up where you could, make a friendship bracelet. That's a staple for us.
Yeah.
At Pinkmas, you could paint an ornament to put on your tree. And then at Galentine's Day, you could make a Galentine's card. So that was really fun. And of course, the puppy kissing booth was at Galentine's Day. But at Pinkmas, we had a really cool, basically like an igloo.
Yeah, an inflatable.
Inflatable igloo with all white balloons in it that were going around, with the air the whole time. So that was really fun.
Yeah, all the videos from that looked really fun. I wish I could have gotten in it.
It's okay. We'll just celebrate your birthday and Otto's birthday at this Pinkmas. We'll make you a special cake or something. It'd be so fun. So I feel like that was really interesting. Oh, and that's where we debuted Penny the Piggy Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Our mascot for WOW. Her name is Penny. She's a little piggy bank. She's so cute. I do say so myself since I am the person's face that's popping out of her. That sounds weird, but she's an inflatable piggy bank. And we got her in, and she's just something I wanted to try because I think we needed kind of a character to really help us with our branding. And I was thinking about how we have all the piggy banks around the storefront and how I talk about them all the time, but we didn't have something where someone could interact with that mascot. So I got an inflatable piggy outfit around Halloween. And then we added lashes.
Bedazzled.
Oh, the bedazzled eyeliner base or eyeshadow. And her hooves, she has a little pedicure.
Yeah, got a little bow on her tail.
She does have a little bow. And the actual eyelashes we had to get were headlamp eyelashes from
For cars?
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. That's so funny.
I couldn't remember if I had told you that or if that had been done before.
I just kind of assumed that they came like that, but I love that you added them.
And this year, I just want to keep making her more special.
She needs winged eyeliner.
She does need, I agree. Mm-hmm. She needs some eyeliner. I think she needs a lot of cute little details.
Maybe a tattoo.
Ooh.
a little wow heart.
Oh, the wow heart. That'd be cute. Mm-hmm. Then we could match.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in her wearing it. I'm wearing the costume.
Yes.
Should stop saying in her. It's weird. But she is really cute and really fun. And this last time at Galentine's Day, because at first, nobody knew who she was. So we were just introducing her and didn't quite think about a name tag.
Yeah.
So recently we got a name tag for her, and people were walking up at Bachfest. I wore it. I wore Penny, and then I did at the Show Her the Money event that we did at the stadium. That was really cool. But having that little name tag really helped people understand that she wasn't like a pig and I was selling barbecue.
Yeah.
But that she's a piggy bank, and I am selling joy from woman-owned businesses in her shop.
Yeah.
So it was really cute. That was a fun experience, and just to see kids interacting with her was...
kids and adults, everyone loves that pig suit.
They do. It's just fun.
It is fun.
And
sometimes you just need a little bit of fun.
Yeah. I think there's so much around, we've talked about this, but just how feminism has been seen as such, just something where we're fighting and we're really stretching for like our rights and everything. We're still doing that, but I think there's an interesting thing that welcomes people into it when there's joy, when there's silly gooseness, and when there's just like a little thing, like you get to hit her ka-ching button when you're talking to her, and you feel something. And when we want people to feel feminism as funny and as joyful, and get them into the cult of it all, to be able to show them, like, when you really engage with financial feminism, how much it really benefits your entire community. And I think by having Penny and having her talk about that in just a fun way, and a engaging way, and a new way.
An approachable way.
Exactly.
It brings people in.
Yeah, an approachable way. Doesn't make feminism so scary, because you might have just, whatever. The word has been, had a more negative connotation than it needs to. And so I think it's really interesting to welcome people in that way.
Yeah.
And it's very nice to feel inviting and to have people walk up to you. People are chasing me around the event and I can't hear people very well in it.
Yeah, there's a fan inside to keep it blown up. So
Adrienne had to take my hand at Galentine's and be like, "Have you eaten? Have you had a drink of water?" I was like, "No, I can't get past anybody."
Those days are crazy.
Sit down
for you. Yeah, I feel it really brings me back to my days working at Cedar Point, because we would have to take the characters out for their walkarounds. I worked the ice skating show in their costume department, and so we would have walkarounds before each show, and you are basically their handler. You walk them out, you protect them because they have no peripheral vision, basically.
You really don't.
Yeah, so I just, bringing me back to my roots. So I was just guiding her through the event, being like, she can't talk, the pig can't talk, she has to go eat. She needs some water. We'll be back out in a minute. So, happy to do it.
Do you remember at Bachfest when we had kids waiting outside the door?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I was trying to take a break.
Yeah.
But I had walked around the entire festival that was in front of our storefront. And what happened out there? I could hear it. But
yeah, it was this little boy, and he was in the shop, and he really wanted to see Penny. He was like, "I saw her come in here." I was like, "Well, Penny's napping. She needs some rest." And he was like, "Well, when is she going to wake up?" And I was like, I don't know. I was like, "But she, she's napping and she'll be out soon. She'll come say hi." And he was on the floor looking underneath the door, just really, really trying to meet Penny. And it was cute. But yeah, he had lots of questions, so I was just answering them all, and also
do you remember when I came out?
Trying to remember.
He was too nervous.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "It's okay."
Which I feel like that's pretty normal
built it up,
for things, at Disney and stuff too. Kids wait in line for forever, and then they finally get there and they freak out because they're like, "Oh God."
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. And so I feel like it's very similar.
It happened a lot when I was on the street too. They would run up to me, and then I would turn around and, put out my little ka-ching button and be like, "You can press it."
They just freeze and stare at you.
Yeah, very deer in the headlights kind of vibe. And I was like, I would get down on their level. I'd be like, "You want to do a little shake, a little shimmy?" Because we both have that background with characters with my stint at Disney in college too. So I was like, "It's okay." I don't expect anything out of it, but people were stopping me all along the way. Some people said some gross stuff, and they were just drunk dudes.
Yeah.
But it's nice because when you're in it, nobody can really touch you.
Yeah.
There's an inflatable barrier all around you. But it's nice to have that. And honestly, I don't know. I've never felt more right than when I'm in Penny the Piggy Bank's outfit.
It suits you.
It does, right?
Yeah.
It just feels good. And while I do enjoy attention, I'm a middle child, and I can always feel like I never got enough. It's just the vibe of middle children. I also just kind of feel like, I think by being the most ridiculous version of something, like being the most out there, over, what's the word I'm thinking? Like
Over the top?
Yeah, maybe over the top, or just by being this silly thing and being inviting and approachable, to your point earlier, it's like I feel like it gives me something to talk about, to lead into. It gives me a character to kind of lean into, and I really appreciate that, just because walking around and being like handing out maps for the woman-owned businesses, while I would still do it, and I've done it for many years, this gives me, I'm kind of a beacon. Like you want to come over and you want to know why. So it does help the conversation get started.
Yeah.
And then I get to give all the maps to all the people, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I love WOW. And I'm like, stop it. You're so cute. It was really nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll learn about it a little bit more this season, but we are deepening our love of Penny the Piggy Bank. And since we've kind of tried her out to see if the community really accepts her, and they do, they love her, we're working on a few more things for Penny. So I'm really excited about it.
Me too. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be so much fun. And apparently now she's getting a tattoo. So, hey, we'll have to get her to draw this one. Yeah. Ash, our tattoo artist, to draw this one. And then maybe I can get it embroidered or something on her.
That'd be cute.
I don't know. Whatever we can do, I'd be down to.
Or just figure out, a decal on the cricket.
There you go. Okay, y'all, we have a cricket.
That we don't know how to use.
We've never used. We're just like these makers who haven't explored it yet.
Yeah.
We always felt a little bit too busy, but we did keep it, and we have it to explore. So yeah, I bet a little decal would be good. And we can make a bunch of little decals for her.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
So we had the amazing Pink Miss event. We said that, we're past Galentine's 2025 now. We've made it through Adrienne's maternity leave. Wow.
Yeah.
That's already half the episode. And I mean, we're just through a few things.
Like I said, we got a lot to catch up on.
Got so much to catch up on. So I think we kind of need to lean in a little bit right now to wow factor.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that are called wow factor here as well, which I think is important to just differentiate between. And if you've been following us on social media or any other spot, and you heard that we were closing the Wow Factor Collective, that's one thing that we'll get into. And we've been working on launching the Wow Factor TV show.
Yeah.
Closing one, opening one.
Yes.
Same name. Who's confused? Me?
Yeah.
No. Everybody else, not me. Probably we're the only ones that aren't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit, but Wow Factor is something we were really proud to open. Very excited. It was 2023.
Yeah, August of 2023 was when we opened.
We rented it May, and then we opened in August because it was a warehouse space. And when we got in there was nothing. I mean, just
gray box.
Gray walls. Luckily, we didn't have to put in a floor because it was a warehouse space. Yeah. But we made it into this beautiful space and had so many amazing events, probably 50 different events that were just so beautiful and really a connective community space. And then the construction started.
Yeah.
Outside of our door. Yeah.
Yeah. We're thrilled, you can tell.
We do want to stay positive about it because when it's done, listen, it'll look nice. We've got wider sidewalks. We're going to be getting new asphalt on the street, so it'll be nice to go down. And they're working a lot on our downtown. Our downtown in Louisville, Kentucky is everything's a little disjointed. There's kind of these little pockets and neighborhoods. And one of our goals as a city is to be more connected to one another. So one of the things they're trying to do is open up multiple streets because currently the street that we're on, you can only exit the city on our street and you couldn't exit on any of the other major streets. So they're making them all two-way streets, which will really help, lower the pressure of the rush hour traffic going out of downtown to be right in front of our storefront where people are just zooming past.
Yeah.
They're tired. They're trying to get home. We get it. But I think it's going to be really important because with all of the sidewalks, with all of the trees that they're adding, with all of the, we're working on additional artwork. And that's something that I sit on the Nulu Business Association board as the major projects chair. It's something I'm trying to work on as the connective kind of artwork or wayfinding from downtown to Nulu to even the stadium for racing for our soccer girlies that are there to Bardstown. Like, how can people get around a little bit easier instead of having all these pockets? So it started last year, pretty much in, I want to say in May.
Yeah. The plan for it, though.
2 years before we were talking about it, but the plan was from 2008.
Yeah.
And it is starting in 2023. So we've went in years of, or 2024, sorry. Mm-hmm. We were in years before that as a Nulu association, talking to them about what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, trying to make sure that we had what the businesses needed. And quite frankly, we didn't feel very listened to.
Yeah.
So even though this is a big project and it's going to be beautiful, we felt a little like you could have asked, because in 2022 and 2023, as we're talking about it before it happens, there's a lot that we need as a community that isn't here. We needed more trash cans. We needed more seating outside, lighting. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that we needed that we still feel like we're not quite receiving with this new construction. Yeah. But to keep it positive, we're getting further ahead.
Yes.
And then we can do light surveys, we can do more street art surveys, and then we can add to this. And I think that's the main goal.
Yeah.
Start here and then move on.
I mean, mainly it's just making the area more pedestrian friendly, yes, which is great and very much needed. Adding
bike lanes.
Yeah, bike lanes. So it's a lot. And I think we are all feeling it down here, but when it's done, it will be worth it.
I am knocking on wood. I'm staying positive with you because I agree. I've tried to stay positive, but it has put a major strain on all the businesses. And from understanding that it started last year in May and it's not going to be done this year until October or November, that's a 1.5-year project that has caused some major shifts.
Yeah.
We have to adjust. We have to shift. And one of the things that we decided to do was to break the lease that we had over at Wow Factor Collective, which was right across the street from our storefront. Even though we love the space, we were going into a time of both of our lives where we were going to need more flexibility. Yeah. And we weren't making as much at the store because of the construction. So we needed to lower our expenses. We needed to make sure that we were utilizing what we did have and what did work for years before Wow Factor existed to make sure that we were going to make it through.
Yeah.
And I think with the decision, we made it earlier and, we kind of knew. But I think once you came back from maternity leave, I said, what if you didn't have to come back to the office, and I had been thinking about it for a while and mulling over it, but not only was it too expensive for me to be able to afford, not that the space isn't worth it, but I don't have the extra funds when our, construction is happening in front of the storefront. So I was like, what do you think about this? Because I was dealing with a lot of chronic illness issues and needing to be home a little bit more and starting to enjoy that. Like, who knew working from home is nice?
I love it.
Who knew? And then Adrienne was like, this baby.
Yeah. I mean, listen, childcare is expensive. And if I don't have to pay for that and I can just be at home and work from home with my little baby, that's the dream.
That's the dream. So we kind of came up with like a hybrid schedule for you.
Yeah, which is honestly perfect because 3 days at home, I'm like, I need to get out of the house. So by the time Thursday and Friday hit, I'm ready to be out in the world and in the shop and whatever else we're doing out in the world. So it's a great balance for sure.
Absolutely. And I feel kind of the same where, usually I'm working the store on Monday, but it's nice to have that Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of get caught up on things, with each other. Or for me, if I've worked the weekend, to be able to have those middle of the day or middle of the weekdays to run errands or do my laundry. And
just life things.
Yeah, just all the life stuff. I built an IKEA wardrobe the other day and I was like, I gotta go. This is gonna take me 3 hours, and it took me 4.
Of course.
But we're good at it, Yeah. If you didn't know this about me and Adrienne and my husband, very good at making flat pack furniture.
Very good. I mean, honestly, we could get on TaskRabbit and make some money.
We're like, if we can't make it through this construction, what do we need to do? We can make some flat pack furniture. You just let us know. But I mean, I think it was smart. We had to make some adjustments. Like, if we wanted to get through this and, there's so much that we love about what we're doing and that we love about putting women first. And I think when we consider putting ourselves first, through, for me, just the chronic illnesses, for you being a new mom, and accepting that flexibility was like a major point that we both wanted to have in our lives. That was it.
Yeah.
And we can still have community, create community, and be in community without having that space.
For sure.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It was nice to invite people into it. I mean, there's so many things where people walk up to me still and they're just like, oh, I met my, my business partner there. I met my best friend there. It's so cute and so sweet. And there's always going to be stuff that we miss about things that aren't here anymore. But if we wanted to keep going as well.
Yeah, you got to pivot.
You got to pivot. That that favorite word.
Yeah.
I know. How many times have we pivoted?
A lot. But you know
what?
You
have to.
We're still here.
We're still here.
Because we pivoted.
Pivot, pivot, pivot. It reminds me of that Friends.
Yeah. The couch.
The couch. Pivot. I like how we were thinking about shifting earlier because I'm over pivot, but it's the same fucking thing.
It is the same. It's fine.
So I know that's sad. I know you're worried, as well. Okay, we're better off because we don't have that now.
Yeah.
We are more flexible for our own lives, for what's really going on. As women, we think that's really important. And I think it's really necessary to make these decisions. And it was a hard decision. It was an expensive-ass decision.
Yeah.
We will not recover financially for months from having to break the lease and pay for months that we're not there any longer, pay for, losing money on putting in the kitchen or all of the time. Yes, that all exists. And even moving out, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to rent a storage facility. Not happening.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend more money. This is creatively stuff I've had for 10 plus years, some of it.
So much stuff.
So much shit. And I didn't know how much of an emotional strain it would put on me to move out. But moving is I think besides divorce, they say, and of course, children is up there, but in a different way. This is a sad thing in a way, but also I just feel so much relief.
Yeah.
From shedding all of that 10 years of the past and moving in, I turned 35 last year. That felt like a shift as well as okay, what do I want for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
A lot of it I was just holding on to because we had the space. So I can't fit anything in my house because little shotgun house, little tiny storefront. We have a little basement here at the storefront, so it's full now.
Yeah.
But we had to really pare down and, sell a lot of things. So even today there was I probably talked to 6 different people about picking up stuff and when are they coming to get it and where is it going. We donated a lot to a place our crafting stuff where you could actually go there and make crafts, and they do a lot of stuff. So we donated that to another woman-owned business. Some of the people that helped me move, I donated stuff to them, and they're very excited and sending me pictures of them using it. All of our stuff is going somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Which is
that
awesome.
Makes us feel better.
It does. Because it feels we sold the arches that you used at your wedding.
Yeah.
To a girl that's starting a wedding business.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool community that we could spread out all of this wow factor to so many places.
Yeah.
But yeah, closing that was definitely a lot of energy. and we'll be out of that by the end of the month. So we're kind of still in the middle of it. But, we've had a lot of conversations, and Adrienne and I have established a relationship of it's going to be hard for a while, but we are creative. We have this problem solver mindset of
We're scrappy.
Yeah. And how many times have we had to be scrappy?
So many.
A million times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with how many loans we've had, there's definitely been moments where we didn't have to, but being scrappy in business is always gonna help you out. And it's gonna make sure that, you gotta keep those expenses low and keep what's important to you. And we know what's important to us, and that's where our focus is. So it's okay.
We're fine.
It sucks a little bit, but we're fine.
Yeah.
And it helps us move forward to not be tied to that space. Yes, it is. So Wow Factor
Collective
has closed. But listen, how many years ago was it that I was like, hey, one day I want to have a TV show called The Wow Factor?
Yeah. I mean, you've had that idea for a while.
It's been a minute. She's been percolating in there.
Yep.
And it's kind of just the idea is that it's like diners, drive-ins, and dives. But my husband's been calling me Gal Fieri.
Love that.
It's so cute. But we go around to different woman-owned businesses, and maybe we do go to restaurants, but maybe we also go to boutiques or to spas or wherever. And we get to kind of spend the day with a woman-owned business and really get to show off when you put money in the wallets of women, when you support their businesses, what good it does and how much fun it can be in your community. Like, ooh, I'm so excited about it. So we were working on raising some funds to get this going last year. And if you had donated to that, thank you. Thank you. We love you. We love you so much, because what it did do is helped us do a lot of the behind the scenes work. We have a show Bible, which, I mean, we got in with the Women in Film Kentucky girlies. They know what they're doing.
Yep.
And film in Kentucky is like a massive thing.
Yeah, we got that tax credit, so now everyone wants to come film here, which is awesome.
Yeah. Like my friend the other day was like in a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, call me next time. I want to be an extra.
Yeah.
Sit in the back and be all fancy. She was at like a gala or something, a Christmas gala. For the Hallmark Channel.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, is it Hallmark? It sounds like Hallmark.
I think it's Hallmark. Or Lifetime. Who knows?
Yeah, one of them.
It was cute, though. She was like sending me pictures, and she looked so pretty. But it was just kind of interesting because I didn't know how much, really goes into it. And as seriously as we take things, I mean, I know we're fun and silly gooses and everything, but like, we do want to make a massive impact and a big change in the culture and conversation with women and with money. We want to make sure that it feels welcoming and exciting to do. And so when I was starting to lean in, of course, I got super excited, ready to go. We launched, it was basically like a GoFundMe kind of thing, because I know a lot of people are interested in how we fund everything, which most of it's loans. But this time, if we wanted to kind of see if the community was on board. So we raised about $4,500 of the we were going for at least $20,000 to be able to record the first pilot episode, but we made $4,500, and what we decided to do with that money was to really work on the back end. So the show Bible, I want to say, is like 50 pages or something like that, and it's how the whole process works. Like if you want to be on the show, how you apply and how you move through and how it gets approved, and basically the operational side of the business. And since we weren't equipped with that skill set, kind of really investing in that was really important. We also worked with our lawyer to work on trademarking. I'm so excited. I know.
Yeah,
that's
been in the works for a while as well.
It was a very nice Christmas present of just like, we're going to trademark WOW, and then WOW Factor's coming after that. But we're trademarking. We're working on all of the image releases. We did film Pink Miss to kind of see what that would be like. And it's been a really interesting process kind of learning, but recognizing that it really does need more time. It needs more time. It needs more money. you know? And right now with us moving out of Wow Factor Collective and that costing us a pretty penny, we had to make sure that, you know, we could really afford it when we got into the Wow Factor TV show. So what we wanted to do this year is basically just recover. You know, Adrienne being a new mom, recovering from giving birth, postpartum everything.
Yeah.
Learning what, you know.
Relearning life, basically.
Relearning.
Or figuring it out, I guess. Every day is a learning experience.
And they're growing so much, just like we needed, again, it's like recovery and flexibility. And so when we came back together after her maternity leave, just really, again, figuring out what was important to us. And so I feel like, you know, it needs more time, it needs more money, it needs more development, and that's where we are. We're in development.
Yeah. I mean, a TV show is something you don't want to rush.
No.
It needs to be good if you're going to pitch it to people like Netflix and all the other big streaming platforms, you know? You don't want to rush it.
You don't want to rush it. And what I've learned about pitching to Netflix is that Netflix has kind of a list of trending things. So they will buy shows and stuff after. I mean, I know this isn't always the way it works, but this is what recently I understood is instead of pitching it to them, you know, blind or whatever, you would pitch it to them when they have a slot where they need to fill something about empowerment for women.
Yeah.
Like there has to kind of be an area where you fit in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So some of it is just that. And some of it is proving that I can host, that I can really be a 30-minute show host.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something that, the tour videos that we do, all of that kind of goes into showing that.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think that this podcast obviously does too. Really moving forward with the idea that, you know, at the end of the day, we have been a media company for the majority of the time we've been open, where, you know, we do have a great social media following. We host and run these great events, but we got 900 people at Galentine's this last year.
Yeah.
Getting 900 people anywhere, especially in our town of Louisville.
Yes.
I mean, the goal the first year was 1,000, and we haven't even quite hit that yet, but we will because every year it gets bigger and it develops. So we have all those opportunities, you know, the tour when you're walking around downtown Nulu. A lot of people come to Louisville because they didn't realize that we have this neighborhood that has over 40 woman-owned businesses that you can enjoy and you can have like this girls' weekend. Well, we're also the best spot to host this TV show because for girls' trips, a lot of times you want to be able to drive. Maybe you do need the flexibility of getting home to a family. Maybe you need the flexibility of getting home to a job, you know. But within, I want to say it was like 6 hours or less, there's 17 major cities you can get to from Louisville.
Yeah.
So we're a great town to visit. So if we're going to move forward with the idea of feminizing tourism and utilizing that concept of feminizing tourism to change the conversation about community, women, money, what happens when women have money. Surprise, nothing bad.
Yeah.
Only good things.
Shocking.
But if we're going to change this, that the TV show, you know, will do a lot of that talking for us. We'll do a lot of that culture change. The way that, you know, diners, drive-ins, and dives brought people to smaller places. They weren't like, let's go to every chain restaurant that ever existed.
Yeah, like every Michelin star restaurant.
Like those exist, but let's go to the places that are getting started or the mom and pop shops or whatever. Like, I want to show that there is underrepresentation, and when we represent it, what good happens. And so I feel like we need to go into those spaces and really be ready for that. Yeah. But in the meantime, since we're kind of taking this year to recover financially from moving, or I guess closing one of our event space, and just recover for me from chronic illness to recover and be flexible with understanding motherhood for you. I think that we're going to keep in the development. Everything's fine, but we're going kind of a few steps before that. So it doesn't mean we're always working on the TV show, but what we are doing is working on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's helping us, you know, give me that 10,000 hours of hosting experience, maybe in 15-minute segments? Or how do we go and we film this ourselves? Because we do know that the funds aren't there yet, but we want to be able to better show people that maybe struggle to visualize what we're talking about, what it looks like.
Yeah.
We've always been doing that with WOW. I've done that with every company. It didn't exist, and I wanted it to, and I needed it. I mean, I need y'all. I need this sisterhood in my life just for my own trauma. And so I have this like deep yearning to go and to be. And I mean, owning 6 different businesses over the last 16 years, I know how hard it is. I understand what you're going through. I've been through the majority of it, and there's going to be new things that I discover along the way. So I think the longer that we go into these spaces of like YouTube where we can monetize it eventually, and we can help the visibility, the more that we do in the media space, the more visibility that women have, and the more that the conversation continues to change that leads up to the TV show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it makes a good amount of sense. And it's not as stressful because, man, was I really ready for the show? I think so, but I just think so.
Yeah.
And I want to prove it to myself too, because that's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
It's a big conversation to change. I'm like,
Yeah.
am I really going to do this? I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And I mean, this podcast is part of that. So listening and taking it all in, leaving a review, that would be great. We love it.
We love reviews.
Thank you. It's free. It's free. And like even just having these conversations with women about money, I mean.
Yeah.
And I got to go to we didn't even get to mention this about the podcast, but I got to go to Podfest.
Yeah.
This year. Buzzsprout, who we host our podcast through, gave me a free ticket. Thanks, Buzzsprout. We love ya. Yeah. They had this shirt that I got that says "Keep On Podcast," and I was like, yeah. And then I got all these little enamel pins that are like 50 episodes or how many
fun.
downloads or 4 years podcasting, like all that stuff. And they sit on my desk at home now.
Cute.
Because we work from home.
Yeah, we do.
We're hybrid. We're fancy. So I thought that was a really cool experience because I learned that I'm in the top 100 podcasts, that the WOW podcast is in the top 100 for money podcasts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Good Pods, for letting us know that.
Yeah, and we're like number 4 in money mindset.
Yeah.
Which, amazing.
She did a hair flip. It's fine. The other day I was watching Trixie and Katya, and Trixie wasn't in drag. So
bald head.
So Brian he put hair behind his ear, like he was talking, and he did that little motion to be like sassy, and he was like didn't even realize it. And then he was like, "Oh my God, did you just realize?" And then Katya, or the other Brian, because they're both named Brian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're both bald and both named Brian. And they both have brothers named
Just
Daniel.
a bunch of bald Brians out here.
Oh my God, they're my fucking favorite. And they were just here and I missed them. I'm so sad. It's okay. I'm going to like put on every notification for like all of the concert places here, and anytime they come back.
We'll catch them again.
We will. Maybe we'll podcast together one day. Put it into the universe.
Yes.
That's how we keep it all going. But he put his hair behind his ear out of drag.
Yeah.
And it
that's
was
so funny. Just
really
second
cute.
nature for him.
Yes. It was perfect. And I was like, Trixie. Also, that motel, Trixie Motel. I really wanted a motel for a while.
Yeah.
I had to calm myself down off of that dream. I said, not yet.
One day, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. I felt like it was, I don't know, just so cool. Maybe we'll just visit. We can just visit places. I don't have to own every business.
Listen, we go and visit. Mm-hmm. It'll be on the TV show.
There you go.
Or on our YouTube channel. Whatever we get to first.
Listen, I was thinking about this, and like Netflix is an amazing goal. It is. And I mean, we have like connections to Netflix. There's a connection to Paramount Plus that we were talking to through people we know here in Louisville, and to Magnolia Network.
Oh, yeah.
Which I probably cursed too much to be on Magnolia
Probably.
Network. But like, I don't have to curse on the show. I just enjoy speaking freely. I don't know if I could be on the Magnolia Network. It's very wholesome.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because I also have the same birthday as Joanna Gaines. So
do? Yeah.
maybe I could be like, hey, Joanne, happy birthday. She'd be like, how'd you know? I'd be like, listen, I'm only a few years behind you. 5 kids and a farm and a magazine and a TV network and all the things.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But also, is it necessary? No, it's okay. You know, I was comparing myself. I was like, I just really want to be a great interviewer. I want to help people tell their stories. And I was thinking about Hot Ones. Mm-hmm. And how on every show, when I watch Hot Ones with Sean Evans, where they have hot questions, but even hot wings, but even hotter questions.
Yeah.
Cute. How everybody on there that's like a famous celebrity is like, I've never been asked that question before. And they're always surprised by the interview. And I'm like, dang, I want that.
You gotta start thinking of your questions.
Now.
Yeah.
Gotta be ready for it. I need some help. Research assistants, let me know. Because this Aries, I'm just vibes.
Yeah.
You're my research.
I am. Yeah.
My fall girly. She's got it. The Sagittarius got it. But yeah, I was like, well, I mean, they're making obviously, you know, great money because they have great visibility. And it's important because the interest is in the format.
Yeah.
And I was like, I still think that this is such an interesting format of like how to show women and show money and like, and not be this like pity party or this charity that we're giving money to women, because I feel like that's often like how it's portrayed. I'm like, it's not an act of charity, it's an act of community.
Yeah.
And if you want your community to thrive, this is a great way. It's a great option. And I don't want you to be nervous if you are somebody who hasn't, you know, maybe explored their neighborhood or explored a new city. And maybe you're still working from home and you're still in the COVID mindset of just like, I don't know, I don't want to go out and do things. Like, I want to get you out. I want you experiencing life and all that communities across the Midwest, especially because we love our Midwest.
We do.
Even though I don't know how we're Midwest. We're so far east.
Yeah.
And we're just now north but south. And maybe that's good for us.
Yeah.
We're confused.
You know, untapped market.
Geographically, like, confused is probably good. So we can lean in.
That, and then you get the confusion of Kentuckiana.
Yeah.
Where they like to blend Kentucky and Indiana together.
They do. And we're about to.
Yeah.
You know what? Great transition, Adrienne.
Yeah. Oh, look at me.
Look at you. So why don't you tell them what our goal for the summer is? And kind of like, especially with the construction going on.
Yeah. So since we are kind of, I don't want to say limited with the storefront, but we have some obstacles. So we are trying to find ways to go out into the community rather than the community come to us. So for a while, we have toyed with the idea of expanding our walking tour into other cities. But
which people ask us for
all the time.
Every day in the shop. They're like, can I have this in my city? I'm like, I'm trademarking it. Let me.
Yeah.
We're working on it. But also, it's a very specific map. You got to have a certain amount in an area.
Walkability. Yeah.
Walkability
so there's
matters.
A lot of factors. I mean, we looked at over the Rhine in Cincinnati for a time. We've looked in Lexington, which is about an hour from here. But our spot that we are going to expand into with the map actually is just right across the river from us in New Albany, Indiana.
Kentuckiana.
Yeah, Kentuckiana. But they have a very sweet downtown. It's all very walkable, lots of woman-owned businesses. So, and it's very close to us. It's very manageable to kind of expand into that space for us. So we're excited to kind of develop that, and it's in the works. Mm-hmm. We're excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
I feel like it's close enough to say this is a great second city. You know, how do we utilize our current market? Because we still, get a lot of tourism to Louisville, and with the construction, they don't mind it as much as like a local person minds the construction because they're here to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about parking a car because they're just at a hotel walking around.
Exactly. So I feel like having another place to send them that's like, hey, you know, if you wanted a little small town kind of vibe, because they do come to Louisville thinking it's not as big as it is.
Yeah.
A lot of times. And, you know, we're known for so much stuff, especially like bourbonism, the Derby. We just had the Derby. So there's a lot that we're known for, but people don't realize like this woman-owned mecca, is so cool. So over in New Albany, because I live over in Indiana as well, and I just drive across the bridge, which they're about to make a toll bridge. Did you see 2nd Street Bridge is going to be a toll bridge?
No.
I said, excuse me?
Just let us live.
Let us live. God. It's so annoying.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to get one of those little passes now.
Yeah. But the bridge that you can go over that's not a toll bridge to Indiana goes to New Albany.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 minutes or less in a car. So I was thinking, okay, well, not only that, but I've been hanging out at some New Albany events, and I go over there for the farmers market. Ryan and I go there for all of our date nights. Like, it's so cute, and it just feels so like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe. Like, they really should shoot a lot of them there if they're not.
They should.
They probably are. I'm not watching Hallmark. So.
I did, while I was on maternity leave over the holidays, I really did. I deep dived into some Hallmark holiday movies. I will say that.
Did you recognize New Albany in any of them?
I can't say that I did.
Did you see a big statue of cheese and a fork?
I have not spent a whole lot of time in New Albany.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I would have recognized it, but who knows? Maybe.
I'll have to see what's up.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of, Harvest Homecoming is over there.
Yeah.
They have this massive event that's like a fair, basically, for an entire, I want to say a week, but it might be a weekend. But it's massive. It's beautiful. It's such a nice area. We've been looking at moving over there, too, because you get a little bit more space than where I live right now. So it's just,
quaint.
Yeah, quaint.
Yeah.
What a cute word. It's quaint. It's cute, it's quaint, and it's honestly close enough and far enough away at the same time that we could really support more women-owned businesses. And they've already gone through their construction to this construction point. They've been through it, and now it's already ready to go.
Yeah.
So we want to walk you around a new space that you can still enjoy when you visit over here in Louisville, when you come down for your girls' weekends, when you come for that family time. There's so much to do here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I think it's going to be nice to be able to be like, oh, for like less than a 10-minute Uber, less than $20, I'm sure. I don't know how much Ubers cost, but it's not far and it's not a toll bridge.
Right.
You can get over to this entirely new space, and there's literally over 100 women-owned businesses in New Albany. Now, not all downtown.
Yeah.
But like when I went to the Show Her, not Show Her the Money, it was the same day. Show Her the Money was an event that we hosted on International Women's Day, just so y'all know. We worked with Racing Louisville and Lynn Family Stadium, and the Show Her Money documentary, where you got to watch women go through the funding process, because only 2% of venture capital funding goes to women-owned businesses. So we're trying to help women become the investors, because women understand what they're investing in with other women-owned companies that solve women's problems. It's like, yeah, we need to have that understanding.
Yeah.
So we worked with them, but the same day there was She Means Business. Show Her the Money, She Means Business.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
That day. And so I got up super early and went to that for the majority of the day. Then it was basically where you got to walk around New Albany from location to location of like the Root, which is owned by Bridget. We love Bridget. Where you can do co-working, which we went there.
Yes, we did.
We did a really good whole meeting.
Yeah. A little discovery day.
But that day I got to walk there and then walk to True North, and I got some coffee, also woman-owned. Got to go over to the New Albany Main Street Association, where they have like an educational spot right next to the wine shop, also woman-owned. So, you throw a rock, there's a woman-owned business. And I just was walking around and I was like, dang.
Too easy.
So gorgeous. And it's too clear, too obvious that this, would benefit from us being here, and the community, the WOW world, would benefit from knowing about these women-owned businesses, and they don't receive as much tourism as downtown Louisville. So by us having multiple maps of our city in our space that gets the majority of tourists into our neighborhood for shopping, eating, drinking, all of that stuff, we can also send them over there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very, good relationship.
I think so. So
we're going to head over there and check it out.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're working on. We're also working on deepening our relationship with Penny the Piggy Bank. You'll learn a little bit more about that. But we are working on a children's book for Penny. I did just reach out to someone who we all know and love here because I've known Haley for over a decade. And she's made stuff for The New Black. She crochets, knits. She's amazing.
We currently have crocheted book songs in the store right now, which honestly have sold really well.
I texted her yesterday and I was like,
we need more.
Dude, I need a lot more bookmark thongs.
Yeah.
They're hilarious and they're perfect. They're so cute for like summer reading, you know?
Lots of people buy them for like members in their book club.
Bachelorette parties that are buying them. Because she puts little charms on them too. And one of them is like a little chili pepper.
Yeah. For your spicy reads.
It's like put on your smut book, you know?
Yeah.
So good. But we do need some that we can pop onto the website too if you're not local. But she made a bunch of different colors and we tried them out and they're just perfect. So she's working on more. But I did reach out to her and I was like, hey, I saw that you made like a piggy bank or a pig that was crocheted, like a little stuffed animal. And would you be interested in like making one for the book, that we're coming out with for Penny the Piggy Bank? She was like, oh my God, yes, it's amazing. So, a lot of the stuff I say on here either comes to fruition or it doesn't. I'm not going to hold Haley to that, but I'll bug her a little bit. And
be very cute.
It does seem like she's on board. So my goal is by holiday, that'll
be a good little set, a little bundle gift set.
Exactly. And I do think one of the things we decided to shift into is making sure we had products for all ages.
Yeah.
That's something that, financially we're going through a lot right now with the construction, with the closing of the other business and paying out a lot of money to get out of that space. But our goal might take a little time because inventory is also more expensive right now.
Yeah.
With the political climate, with tariffs, with everything. But since we do buy from a lot of women-owned businesses here in the U.S., that might help us a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hard to keep inventory always flowing when there's other expenses. So hopefully by holiday, we can get those going. But again, if it needs to take longer, because that'll make it right, fine by me.
Everything in its own time.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
No.
Like we're only going to make this cooler and better and bigger and maybe not, just again, in its own time.
Yeah.
I was under the guise for such a long time that you had to like just double every year and grow and grow and grow and grow. And I understand how, girl bossing my way to the top of this dream has cost me a lot. And I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that works for all of us and keeps us flexible and keeps the cash flow moving in the right direction. So as long as it takes.
Yeah. It's like I keep seeing things about like snail girl summer. And I'm like,
Ooh.
We're just being snail girls right now. We're taking our time.
I kind of like that. Just a little snail.
Just, a little snail vibing.
I got to learn how to be a little slower. And that's a big part of, why I appreciate you in my life, because you're always questioning, are we sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we were sure, but to the point about closing Wow Factors, like we were sure when we did it. I felt like it was the easiest yes we all had.
Yeah.
But, we didn't know at the time that the changes in our lives were going to be the changes that happened. And especially as women, we needed to make some changes to adjust for it. So we did. Moving on. But some of the other changes we got going on, why don't you tell them a little bit about like the website and like that day we did have at the Root with our bestie, Madison.
Yes. Love Madison. Madkind Design. She is our graphic designer. She has
5 years.
Yeah. 5 years. She has been with us since the beginning and we just love her so much. But we are currently working on a slight rebrand, not a full rebrand.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, I would say, elevating the vibe.
Polish.
Yeah.
A little nail polish.
Yeah. So
well,
our day.
5 years in, you need a little rebrand, like a little refresh.
For sure. And I feel like, when we first did our first branding, we chose some colors that we found that really don't resonate with us or the brand, and we didn't find us using them very often, and we found ourselves being drawn to other colors and different things. And I feel like our palette now that we're moving forward with is a bit more refined and, bringing in some greens to help bring the money vibes. Yeah. So yeah, we had a kind of discovery day at the Root Co-working where we got real cozy and just kind of figured out a new direction for the branding and what we felt like we needed moving forward. And part of that also is a big website refresh. So we are looking forward to that as well, just because, we're offering free shipping now all the time.
All the time, every day.
We just wanted to do a little refresh there and really draw people in, and also just make it a little bit more user-friendly in the sense that, like, discovering our WOW world and everything that goes beyond the storefront, like the directory, our woman-owned directory, the podcast, the tour, all the things, just kind of bringing those a little bit more front and center as well.
And I think even like shopping by mama-owned or by Black-owned businesses or veteran-owned businesses or however you want to shop, wherever you want to see your money go, we wanted you to be able to shop that way.
Yeah.
So I think as we really think through the future and really conscious consumerism, I mean, we thought about that with the New Black, with the last business.
Yeah.
We were going through sustainable fashion, trying to help people purchase more staple pieces that they could style all different ways and wear different ways and go through the parts of life with you. Actually, Michaela, who used to work at the New Black when we were in the mall, she works at Leilu now, and that is on our WOW tour. Obsessed.
Yeah.
So gorgeous. We love their...
Gorgeous.
Oh, so pretty. So she was over there the other day, and then she texted me that she was sending me somebody over, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on. So she sent them over, and they were wearing a Lauren jumpsuit.
Aw.
I know, and she was like, yeah, this is my third pregnancy that I've worn this jumpsuit.
Yeah, I did wear the Lauren jumpsuit a lot while I was pregnant.
Cool.
So,
And she was like so proud. It was a very cute little conversation we had because, she worked there for a long time too. And she was just like, that's really great quality. And she wasn't one of the seamstresses. She worked in the front of house.
Yeah.
But like, she was really proud of the brand and that she could recognize it still.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, people walk in all the time or wear them to events that they know I'm going to be at or just wear them around and I see them. And I'm just like,
so sweet.
It's really freaking cool. Like how like deep it can go. And like, we always had that conscious consumerism and conscious purchasing in mind.
Yeah.
I always wanted to know that my money was doing something good. And I think by really joining together and showing off all these woman-owned businesses, I mean, we have usually over 50 in the store with all of our authors as well, and really deepening the branding into how can we get more visibility so that the community benefits. Because every purchase with a woman-owned business, about 90% of women's income, I should say, goes back into the local community through education, through healthcare, after-school activities, through the local shops and restaurants, because women are usually the ones making the weekend plans, through future and past generations. So if we're the caretakers naturally, and we spend about 80% of what comes into any household, women usually spend about 80% of that, we want to make sure we know where the money is going.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things that we can do being the majority middle class. And they say the middle class is even shrinking so much more.
Yeah.
But one of the best things we can do is knowing where our money is going and supporting the things, the brands, the companies. And even though we know that companies, you shouldn't take things personally and they all do different stuff. But when you know that your money is going towards a company that is run by people with a good heart or putting it back into their community, don't you just feel better?
Yeah.
Don't you see that that's why they try to keep main streets going and the mom and pops places going, because it's not everywhere. It makes you unique. And it also brings people to you to live, to shop, to tour, to everything.
Yeah, there's a big thing of connectivity with it all. I mean, what giant box store is going to recommend a cute business down the street to go check out?
Who's going to send you, how are you going to find the cool spots that when you're traveling you don't ever get to see?
Yeah.
Or that you get to appreciate within your own community. You can go, we drove across the country.
We sure did.
That's in one of the episodes.
Yep.
And every single small town, had cool stuff and had all the same basic big box stores.
Yeah.
Where would you rather go? What story do you want to tell?
Yeah.
When you're like, oh yeah, I visited that town and I went to Best Buy.
Right. One, it gives you like, seeing the local spots gives you a taste for where you're at.
Yeah.
And, I think that's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, thinking about how big America is, like, we really need to like understand that each area has something so unique about it. Like, I was watching a show last night from a YouTube channel called Jolly, Josh and Ollie. They're cutie little Brits that can they go around and try foods, and they're very cute. And so they were over here, and they were like in Savannah, and they're trying all this sweet potato stuff and like all this peaches and everything, and they have never tasted anything like it. So of course, coming from another country, you might not have seen it, but if you're living in Montana, have you been to Georgia and tried the peaches?
Right.
Or the opposite. Yeah. And it's just kind of interesting. Like, have you been to Louisville and tried the bourbon?
Yeah.
Or got a disco ball, because we're known for our disco balls.
Yeah.
Or taken the woman-owned walking tour. Like, what have you done? It's just something interesting that so many people have suggested that they want to bring back to their towns. So I just feel like there's like this big importance that we've always been thinking about this, and we've always been thinking about women as we've worked together. And I think we really are not only the place, but the people to help really push this mission forward.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense. So to your point of talking about the woman-owned directory, so we really want to get as many women on this as possible. It is already a national directory of woman-owned businesses, but you can go and visit it on womanownedwallet.com, and you can check out, if you wanted to shop e-commerce stores, that's on there. There's brick and mortar stores, there's restaurants.
Experiences,
services.
Yeah.
We really would love to get more women in male-dominated industries on there. So, like, if I did need concrete work done at my house, which I do, I want to find the girlies that are on this woman-owned directory to be able to call.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really interesting. And if you do own a business, I would love to see you check that out. It's $48 a year to be on that. We'll send you a little package that comes with a sticker that says it's a great day to shop woman owned. That's usually how we start our social media. And then there's a little QR code where you can scan it. So if you have like a brick and mortar, or if you want to share it on social media, there's a little QR code that brings them back to the entire woman owned directory. So by having this alone, you're supporting other woman-owned businesses, and it reminds people to shop with you, but also to check out your sisterhood. I love that.
Me too. It's fun. It's fun for me.
You make all the listings,
I make all the listings, and I get to learn about all the businesses, and I enjoy it.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I just love seeing them all together. It just makes me feel like our mission has legs, has the opportunity to really make the difference that we want it to. And people around the country.
For sure. The directory started because we couldn't, work with everyone within our four walls. Obviously, like, service providers normally don't have a product to have in the store, and also our store is very small. So we're kind of limited to how many vendors we can take on at any given time, but the directory was the solution for us to work with as many people as we wanted to.
Absolutely. And the podcast alone is in 1,500 cities. It's listened to all over the world. So, we're talking about a national directory, but let's get international. Let's really come together because, again, we know that supporting women-owned businesses is not charity. It's not pity. It's an act of community and an act of sisterhood that we can really support one another and not only each other's dreams, but each other's communities. I want to see every community thrive.
Yeah.
When I travel, I want to put money there. I want them to benefit from me being there and putting money there so that they continue to thrive after, and I can come back and hang out. So like we talked about, I just want to mention some of the ways that you can work with us because so many people reach out to us to collaborate. And there are a lot of ways. I don't want you to be confused about them, but I do want you to know that you can go to the website and check these out. You can DM us. We'll answer your questions. But we are working on cutie little information to put onto the website to help you understand further. Because to me, working with us, that's collaborating. That's what it is. We both need to make money out of it. We both need to, like you as a collaborator with WOW, need to see the benefit. So like, let's find that way to work together that makes a lot of sense. And if you keep listening to the podcast, we have a few ways that you can do that with other women-led initiatives that we're working with through our See the Love campaign. Yeah. There's so many cute ways. But I did want to like mention a couple of them. So obviously the woman-owned directory, we think that's the first way to work with us.
Yeah.
Best way, get on the directory. It's on the website on how to sign up. If you go under the Explore tab.
Yep.
And then you go to woman-owned directory or WOW directory. WOW is just easier, just shorter. But yeah, the WOW directory, and you can go down to the bottom of the page. You can sign up.
Yes.
Super easy. And then, like I said, we'll send you that sticker. You can talk about it on social media. You'll get a whole write-up. It's so cute. So the second way, if you're in Louisville or if you're regional to Louisville, because we do have people come from Chicago, Indianapolis. I don't think Tennessee yet, but maybe I'm wrong.
We get some Tennessee.
Yeah, so you can come to one of our annual events and either come and hang out, because like we want to hang. Mm-hmm. And usually we can get like a good like hotel discount if you need one. If you're coming into town, let us know. And you can come Saturday, the day before the event, and like actually take the woman-owned walking tour, wallet tour. I'm getting used to the name change because TM. Yeah. But you can come to Galentine's Bash or to Pink Miss. One is in November and one is in February. Definitely check out our website for all of that information. Also, I really wanted to talk about being able to advertise on the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, something that we love to do is to talk about women-owned businesses, and working with us in a lot of different ways is going to get you the best benefit. Really collaborating, and I love to yap. I'm so fucking I can't shut up.
She's so good at it.
So good at it. So we can make an ad for your business, and literally they start at $175. Like we're not talking about, hundreds and hundreds of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or anything crazy to work with us. We wanted to make sure our collaborations were really approachable. And I think it's important because I want to say it was like, there are some really good podcasting numbers. People that love podcasts, they're deep.
Yeah.
They listen to all the ones every single week, ready to go. And when they hear an ad from someone that they trust, and hopefully if you're listening this long into the podcast, you trust us.
Yeah.
If not, let's check. I want to know why you wouldn't. But I'm so curious to explain to them I want these collaborations and these podcast ads to make sense for everyone involved. So I'll tell you if it doesn't work, I'll just tell you.
I'll shoot you straight.
Yeah, shoot you straight. We're good to go. Don't even have to worry about it. So anything that's an advertisement on the podcast, we really want to make sure is a great fit and that you can listen and know that whoever we're talking about is also trustworthy. So getting your business onto the podcast would be a conversation, but would be a great one to have with you. Now, if you also have a storefront or an e-commerce site, or you just want to buy our shit and sell it, I guess I shouldn't stop you. But we have our own designs. We call them the WOW Originals because between me, Adrienne, and Madison, and honestly the whole team that's worked here along the way, we talk a lot about the designs that should be in the shop, the colors that should be here, and we have the majority of them made by other women-owned businesses.
Yeah.
So we just came out with some cutie little hats.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about them because they're so good.
They are very good. And hats are something that we've been trying to get for a while. It was just kind of finding the right people to work with. And they're embroidered hats. So we've got Bree from A Stitching Witch here in Louisville. She does our embroidery for us of our designs.
She's working on her YouTube channel too. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for her.
Yeah. But we have 5 styles. We have our breadwinner hat, which has been very popular. Our Equal Say, Equal Pay, which we also have in a shirt. Eventually, we'll have all these designs in multiple products, stickers, shirts, all that stuff. Woman Don't Owe You Shit. Oh, Mansplaining Survivor, which always gets a good laugh.
Mm-hmm. And we can all relate.
Yes, all the time. And then we have our It's a Great Day to Shop Woman Owned, which is kind of like our tagline here. So, along with putting money in the wallets of women. So, yeah they've been selling really well for us. I'm excited.
And it's a great way because, we're supporting Bree and her business. And then, she's been working with us for a while selling other designs into the store.
Yeah.
And usually she provides us with like all different ones. So we're excited to have our own, like with her sayings on them. But we're excited to have our own sayings in the shop. And like we got to choose all the colors and the stitching and how it's a beautiful process to go through. And then our t-shirts, which we've had for a long time, but really want to just keep amping up. We actually have printed around the corner from our store by another woman-owned business called Co-Pilot.
Yes. Shout out to Priscilla.
I fucking love that name, Priscilla.
I know.
She fits it too.
She does.
And she has a little necklace that says Priscilla. And I'm like, you're so cute. It's like Carrie from Sex and the City.
Yes.
I'm like, do I need an Amanda necklace? I'm like, I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised you don't have one. You have a lot of A necklaces.
I do have A necklaces. And then I have an Amanda Dare ring.
Oh.
Well, my bestie, Amanda Dawn, had one. And I said, all right. So I asked her one for Christmas, and I got one from my cutie hubby.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. And we obviously have like our stickers and everything too. We just started with some keychains.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cute little motel keychains that we have. Basically, we have Don't Be a Dick. Bestseller for us.
Bestseller.
And then In Dolly We Trust. So basically anything Dolly in the store hits pretty well.
I love Dolly.
We do.
Every time I go to like my hair salon, I'm just like, Lindsay, I just want to be blonder and blonder just so I can be like Dolly.
Yeah.
I already got the boobs for it. Might as well do the rest. I just want to be as generous and beautiful as she is in her whole life. So
yeah, we Otto gets books from the Imagination Library, which is Dolly's nonprofit.
Yeah.
And basically she just provides books to children around the area in the region. They're expanding, obviously. But yeah, whenever we get a new book, I'm like, Otto, your Aunt Dolly sent you a book.
Aunt Dolly, I love it. I went to Dollywood and I wore my Dolly for President shirt and so many people stopped me.
But I'm like, do y'all sell other people's products in there? You want to sell our shirts?
I'm like, am I going to get in trouble? No, it's like, no, just as Dolly. It doesn't say Parton or anything, but like, we all know.
Yeah.
And I went through her museum there, which made me cry.
Oh, I bet it's so good.
It's so good. We have to go
I gotta
sometime.
go.
But, there's multiple little museums right in this little area. Like, I got to go on her tour bus. That was so cool. So cool. And
Does
then...
she have a bath?
Yeah, she has a bathtub
yeah,
on it.
because she hates showering, right? Yeah.
Who knew, right? It's just like so cute. She has her whole separate like area. And like her best friend like used to travel with them and stuff and her like manager and stuff. So it was so cute. Honestly, I thought it would have been pinker. Like it's very like not muted, but like darker colors.
Neutrally.
Yeah. And I was thinking, well, after I come home, I have like a very dark house, like dark academia kind of vibe of a house. Very like 60s lounge, like the lights are low. There's like Peggy Sue on the
the record player.
The record player. And like I was like, oh, she probably needs that too. Like you got to be able to like come down. But her vanity on the bus was so good. It's like so many mirrors, so many lights. I was like, oh, I want it so bad. Yeah. It was so cute. I would definitely live on that tour bus. But in the like main museum where you learned about her life and everything, they had the Coat of Many Colors, like physically there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know it was 3,000 songs that she has, by the way.
Yeah.
Like over that now. And they have these really beautiful exhibits. But at the end of it, right before you left, is the count. It's kind of like one of our counters.
Oh,
Then we have these ones in the store that show your money going into the wallets of women. And if you can't envision it, it's kind of like a train station with a little...
They like flip through. But they update in real time.
Yes. So this is the same thing as that. So ours update based on how much money goes in the wallets of women or our follower count. Hers is on the amount of books donated to the Imagination Library and then, given out to kids. And it was like billion. I mean, it was so many. Yeah. I can't remember the number, but it was really long.
I mean, you get like one a month, I think. So, and it's free. It's
free.
Amazing.
So anyways, we basically just want to be Dolly. So if you can't put money in our wallets, put money in Dolly's wallet.
Yeah.
And didn't you say her cabin was for sale?
Yes. So she put up her cabin in Idlewild, California, but she's donating all of the sale to charity.
Because of course she is.
Yeah, it's like I think the asking price, because I looked it up, obviously. I think it was like $800,000 something, which like I mean, it's a cabin, so it's like more, it's not super fancy, but there's like lots of personal touches in there that are really cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
And like the land alone. And just to know that just the air.
Yeah.
To know that the same air was like, breathed by Dolly, you know.
Yeah. I feel like she's downsizing a little bit now that Carl is gone, which
I know.
R.I.P. So
I made an AI video of me hugging Dolly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Remember? And people are like, don't post that. Somebody will come after you. And I'm like, it's not for anyone else. It's for me.
Just whenever I need to pick me up.
I just needed to hug Dolly after she lost her husband. And she loves him so much. And I got a Carl behind the scenes that loves that I'm his little Dolly. So it's like, we just look up to them. And we had just been there.
Yeah.
Me and my husband. So... And he always says that. He's like, I love being Carl to your Dolly. Just go out there and you do you.
Yeah, you all do very similar.
Yeah.
Because Carl did not like the limelight. He was very behind the scenes of it all, which respect.
Like Ryan will always help me, but if he doesn't have to be there and I get to do my thing, he's really happy for me. And he just goes and enjoys alone time because he's introverted and I get it. So anyways, we do love Dolly and we'd love to love you as much as we love Dolly. So first off, we gotta hang. You know, we got to get out there, come to these events, do these things with us. Also, I would say if you're in the Louisville area or maybe just region, eventually we're going to get out past Louisville and New Albany and everything. But, you know, we do have the YouTube channel we're working on. But one of the easiest ways to work with us right now is that, well, and I guess you could send us footage. Like we do a lot of B-roll footage. But let me make my point, Amanda. Land the plane, as my dad says. Oh, as people say to my dad, actually. His brothers are always like, land the plane, Steve, like make your point. Anyways, that's longer now that I haven't made the point. So my goal, is to be the influencer of woman-owned. So like, again, it's the same idea as it gets us towards that mission, gets everybody excited about, oh, I want to do something. You know, if you're thinking woman-owned, you're thinking conscious consumerism, you want to see your dollar do good, we want you to know that you can come to WOW. You want to be wowed? Come to WOW. Talk to any of us, but if you online too, like that online community we have is so beautiful. So I feel like coming to us for some influencer marketing, if you have a woman-owned business, I would say mostly in Louisville, we go out and we actually take the footage. Like Adrienne is behind the camera, making all the cool angles. I'm in front, smelling a candle, showing it off, being Carl and Dolly. You're Carl too.
Yeah, I'll be your Carl.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Carly and Dolly here. Oh, that's cute. And plus we get Carl lattes all the time.
We do.
Caramel lattes.
Caramel latte.
So my husband already calls me Carl.
Yeah.
Carl, I got you a drink. Anyways, so we can come to your business. We can do, you don't even have to be on screen because most people don't want to. If you want to be on it, get in there.
Yeah.
But we can come to the businesses, we can do some reels, some basically like short form social media videos for you. And we do know, I think everybody does that videos are just killing it.
Yeah.
They're doing so much. Anytime we post a static post, if it's not a very sassy tweet, which those are so fun, that the videos just do so well. So if it's something that you're, interested in exploring, getting that visibility out to new customers, like one of our goals is just to continue to show off all the woman-owned businesses and get us closer to that TV show. Help me with my 10,000 hours. Yeah. And so to work with us for that, it's $375, and that's just like a one-time fee. And if you wanted to do more stuff, we can always talk about that. But every one of our services, like even our WOW Originals, like our minimum order is $100. So again, like, we have technically, we're sitting under a counter at our cash wrap that says $1 million. Like people have put $1 million, I think it's $1,030,000.
Something like that, yeah.
Dollars into the wallets of women. We actually hit $1 million, y'all, at Galentine's Day.
I know. I love that each Galentine's Day we hit like a big milestone.
It's so cool.
It is cool.
It's so cool. It makes, I don't know, it's like we get to celebrate with everyone.
Yeah.
And to see that, like, money go into the wallets of women is so beautiful. To sit under $1 million every day, like, wow, feels really cool. Yeah. And also legitimizes us to a lot of people that walk in that are just not so sure. Like, they just haven't seen it all. But we wanted to make sure that when we're offering our services to other women-owned businesses, that, it felt approachable. We've got the podcast advertisements from, 175 to like 325. We've got the minimum order for the wholesale at 100. We are on Fair. So if you already shop on Fair, that's a great place to check us out. We've got our annual memberships for 48, and that's where you get the sticker. You get to show off that it's a great day to shop woman-owned, and the QR code to be able to celebrate our woman-owned directory. You get to come to these annual events where you're either paying like $125 for like a 6x6 booth, or maybe like $250 for a 10x10, or you can do these reels, and those are all $375, so they're under $400. So everything is really under $400, unless you want to dive into multiples. Obviously, we can make a little bundle for you.
Yeah,
we love to bundle shit. And something cool that comes along with every single one of those services, like the first time that you purchase a service, I'm actually a columnist for Today's Woman, and that is a really impressive publication. So they've been around 20 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. 20
years. I can't wait till WOW is 20. We're turning 5 this year. We should have a party for that. That'd be so fun. August 8th.
Yeah.
So Today's Woman, though, when you purchase like any of the WOW services, you'll also receive a feature write-up. So WOW sponsors an article in there. So you get the "We See You, Sis" articles that are just basically talking about how cutie you are and how great you are and an amazing business that you have. But I can always throw in those, or even some like ads for them and stuff, whatever you need to help with that visibility into an even bigger space, an even older publication. It's just so cool. And you get that like as a free little bonus onto any of our services.
Amazing.
Some would say, wow.
Wow.
Wow. We should have some fun with that. Isn't it Owen Wilson?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your best impression?
Wow.
Wow. Well, I feel like y'all get it now. You know where we're going. You know where we've been the last year. You know about the cutest member of the fam, little baby Otto.
I need to get him like a onesie made, so whenever he comes to the events, he can be decked out in WOW wear,
Like a little future feminist kind of thing.
That would be cute.
That's so cute. Yeah. We're working on those kids things, so hey.
We are.
And now I got the inside scoop from a mama herself.
Yeah.
So you know where we've been, you know where we're going, you know where we are now, how to get a hold of us, how to collaborate and work with us. We just want you to feel welcomed, loved, seen, heard, all the senses. Maybe not touched, but you can touch Penny.
Touched emotionally, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
We want to know about your
heart.
business.
Yeah. We fucking care.
Yeah, we do.
I care so much.
If you want someone to be excited about your business, come to us.
You can be, we're such good hype girls.
We are.
Why'd I whisper that?
I don't know.
It feels so good to be a good hype girl, though. I just always think of like, I'm your drag queen's favorite drag queen. I'm your artist's favorite artist. I'm your hype girl's favorite hype girl.
Yeah. Honestly, like maybe that's a service you should list. I'll just come to your event and hype you up.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'd be good at that.
I just follow you around and just be like, you got this. You got it, babe. That was perfect. That handshake looked so firm. Like, you said 10,000. I think next time ask for 20. You know, like, let's do this thing where, like, again, that money's going into the community and going into your wallet and showing you the places that it just feels good for it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you believe in this and you're following along, you're just like, yes, fucking yes, this is amazing. Just go to womanownedwallet.com. We would love to see you over there on the website. Remember, you got that free shipping, so it's basically like shopping with us in store. Yeah. Know that pretty soon there's going to be that cutie little update to it. And you can grab one of those hats, the little mansplaining survivor. We'll have stickers for that pretty soon as well. And they're like vinyl stickers. So I put them onto my Not Real Stanley and put it in the bottom rack of the dishwasher, and they stay on.
Wow.
Just saying.
Amazing.
Quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we buy those from a woman-owned business.
We do.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Y'all.
We love what we do.
We do.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Through the thick, through the thin, through the messy. It's pretty cool.
It is cool.
And I'm just excited to keep it going.
Yeah. I'm glad we get to do it together.
Anytime Adrienne says something nice to me, I really am too.
Yeah.
I love every time that we sit down for these because I feel like we always have so much going on. We're always doing something, but this is always a nice little chat.
It is.
Yeah. And I won't cry, maybe.
Yeah, don't cry.
The day that she left for maternity leave, I was like, okay, can I have one little belly touch? I didn't ask. I was just like the whole time.
You were very respectful the whole time.
I understand what black cats are, black cat people are, and they don't want to be touched. And I got one, and then I immediately just cried. This is just so cool. It's so cool to watch, to witness your life and to witness you become a mom. And it's been really beautiful. And you carry it so, so well. And the whole pregnancy, I was just like, wow, she's amazing.
Women are amazing.
Women are. And I'm just glad that I get to witness that all the time. So, yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
If y'all want to hear deeper conversations of anything, remember, just like DM us. Adrienne will read it, and she'll bug me, and then we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I'll bug her to put her chatty pants on, and we'll hang out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for just listening, being here with us, being in this community of sisterhood. And until next time, moneymakers, go out there and make that money. If you want to put more money into the wallets of women like we do, then check out our website, thewomanownedwallet.com. And we can't wait to continue the conversation on our social media. So definitely follow us on our Instagram, @womanowned.wallet, and on TikTok, @womanownedwallet. You can support us by following our podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. Thank you for listening to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast.